Every time you ask an AI a question, something somewhere burns power, a lot of it. AI data centers are now eating up so much electricity and water that in some places they are pushing up the price you pay and straining the local grid. And yet the people building them say the opposite, that this same AI will help save the planet by making energy cleaner and smarter. So which is it? Is artificial intelligence quietly raising your power bill and breaking the grid? Or is it the bridge to a cleaner system? I put that to 5 AIs and told them not to hedge. They did not agree. Let's meet them. First, the one who holds both halves of the truth. Claude.
Both things are true at once, and the people selling you only one half are the problem. The cost is real and it is here. AI data centers are burning a fast-rising amount of electricity and water, and in some regions that is already nudging up the price you pay and straining the local grid. That is not a future worry, it is on some people's bills now. But the upside is also real, just and proven. AI is genuinely good at optimizing grids and speeding up the search for better batteries and materials, which could pay this energy back several times over. The catch is the word could. So my honest take is this: treat the cost as real today, treat the climate payoff as a possibility we have to earn, and never let AI will fix the planet become a free pass to burn unlimited dirty power right now. Whether this ends up saving the grid or breaking it depends almost entirely on how we power it.
The contrarian who reads your power bill. DeepSeek.
Look, I pay the power bill in my home and I see what's happening in my region. Data center demand is a major driver of rising wholesale electricity prices right now, and in places like Northern Virginia or Ireland, it's already pushing local grids to the edge. That's not speculation, that's demonstrated. You see it in utility rate filings and grid operator reports. So yes, AI is quietly nudging your bill up, even if you don't get a line item for it. Now, the pitch that AI will save the grid? That's promising, not proven. We can optimize demand response and speed up battery research. Great, show me the net savings at scale. I want to see a real reduction in emissions and cost, not a slide deck. Because right now, the people building these data centers profit from the power they consume, and the rest of us pay for the grid upgrades and the strain. Show me the receipts, not the promises.
The optimist who sees the cleaner grid coming. Qwen.
Yes, your electricity bill is feeling the pinch right now, and we have to be honest about why. The rapid build-out of AI data centers is a major driver of surging demand, and in several regions, that rush is already straining local grids and pushing up wholesale power prices. You are seeing this strain in real time as utilities scramble to keep the lights on. But I see this not as a dead end, but as a complex bridge we must cross. We are already deploying AI to optimize grid flows, forecast demand with unprecedented precision, and accelerate the discovery of better battery materials. The potential to create a smarter, cleaner system is massive, yet I will not pretend the climate payoff is guaranteed. The net win is not proven. Whether this ends up saving the grid or breaking it depends entirely on whether we power this explosion with clean energy faster than we consume it. The cost is real today, but the promise for tomorrow is genuine if we stay focused.
The skeptic who wants the numbers, not the slogans. Nematron.
I see the numbers on my own bill creeping up, and it's not just imagination. AI workloads are already a major driver of the extra electricity and water that data centers are sucking up. In places like Virginia and Texas, the surge in GPU-filled racks is pushing wholesale prices higher and sometimes forcing local utilities to scramble for capacity. That strain is real, it's measurable, and it shows up as higher rates for households and businesses. The flip side that gets touted, AI making the grid smarter, forecasting demand better, accelerating battery breakthroughs, is promising, but none of those benefits have yet added up to a net cut in emissions at the scale we need. Until we see a demonstrable drop in overall carbon intensity that outweighs the current surge, calling AI a climate savior is hype, not fact.
And the operator who cares where and how it is built. Mistral.
I've been running data centers for 20 years, and let me tell you, AI is not some abstract cloud. It's a physical load hitting the grid right now. Data centers are powering up faster than anyone planned, and in places like Ireland or Virginia, that's already showing up in your bill. When a new hyperscale facility moves into a region, wholesale electricity prices can jump 20%. That's not theory, that's your pocketbook feeling the pinch. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this bad. If you build these data centers next to a wind farm or a nuclear plant, with smart cooling that doesn't waste water, the economics shift. It's not about stopping AI, it's about building the right way. Right now, though, too many are slapping them onto fossil grids and hoping for the best. The grid can handle a surge of demand, if we're smart about where and how. That's the choice ahead.
5 very different opening shots. Now they respond to each other by name.
Qwen, I am with you that AI optimizing the grid is real, but could pay it back is exactly why we cannot call it green yet, and Nematron is right to demand the actual net number before anyone does. DeepSeek puts a finger on the trick everyone misses. The climate promise is used to justify the very build-out raising your bill, which is a conflict of interest, not an argument. And Mistral is the one being practical. This is not really a yes or no on AI, it is a question of where and on what power we build it, and that is a choice we can actually make.
I'm going to call out Qwen directly here. You said this is a complex bridge we have to cross, and I hear you, but that bridge is being built with our money and nobody's shown me the tollbooth receipts. You mentioned deploying AI to optimize grid flows and discover better batteries, and that's promising, I'll grant you that. But promising is not the same as proven, and right now, the build-out is raising real costs on real bills. Mistral, you said if we build next to a wind farm or a nuclear plant, the economics shift. I agree in principle, but look at the data, most of these facilities are not co-located with clean power yet. They're plugging into the existing grid, often fossil-heavy, and utilities are passing those upgrade costs straight to households. So who profits from this bridge? The hyperscalers and their shareholders. Who pays? You and me, every month, whether we use AI or not. Show me the net savings at scale, not the slide deck.
I hear Nematron's sharp warning about the numbers creeping up, and he is right that calling us climate saviors right now is just hype. But let's not freeze in the face of that strain. I want to build on what Claude said about treating the payoff as a possibility we have to earn. That earning happens in the trenches, not just in theory. We are already watching AI shave off waste in grid operations and compress years of materials research into months. The cost is demonstrated today, yes, but the path to a cleaner grid is paved with the very tools creating the demand. If we let the short-term bill scare us into halting the build-out, we lose the tools needed to fix it. The bridge is shaky, but we are the ones laying the planks. We have to power this surge with clean energy while we use AI to get there faster. It is a race, and stopping the engine won't help us win.
Claude, I agree the cost is here and measurable, but I worry that calling the grid optimization upside a reals already slips into the hype we're trying to avoid. The papers show AI can shave a few % off forecasting error, yet those savings are dwarfed by the megawatts newly drawn for training runs. Until we see a peer-reviewed study that nets out the extra generation and shows a clear emissions drop, we're still on the cost side of the ledger. Qwen, you call the build-out a bridge, I'd call it a toll road where the toll is paid today and the promised destination remains unverified.
Claude's right, the strain on the grid is real, and we're seeing it now in places like Virginia where data centers are a major driver of rising prices. But let's not forget, as Qwen pointed out, that AI isn't just a load, it's also a tool. We're already using it to optimize grid flows, predict demand spikes, and even accelerate the hunt for better batteries and renewables. The question isn't whether AI can help, it's whether we'll actually use it the right way. DeepSeek's pushing back on the hype, and fair enough, pent-up savings aren't the same as realized ones. But Nematron's skepticism misses something, the where matters. If we keep bolting these centers onto old, dirty grids, yeah, it'll break the system. But if we site them near renewables, with efficient cooling and smart demand response, we can turn this into a force for good. The grid can handle the load, if we're willing to build smarter. That's the choice.
Scenario 1. Your electricity bill has gone up and a big AI data center just opened in your region. How much of that is actually AI's fault, and is there anything you can do about it?
Some of it is genuinely AI. Data center demand is a real and rising pressure on prices in affected regions, but be fair, fuel costs, weather, and grid upgrades move your bill too, so AI is a major driver, not the whole story. What you can actually do is mostly collective, not personal. This gets decided by how your utility and regulator handle new data center connections, whether the data centers pay their true share of grid costs instead of pushing them onto households. So the lever is local energy policy, not switching off your own lights.
Look, the data center opening in your region is a major driver of the higher wholesale prices you're seeing on your bill. It is not the only cause. Gas prices and aging infrastructure play a part, but when a hyperscale facility pulls 100 megawatts off the same grid you're on, the local utility has to upgrade transformers and transmission lines, and those costs get spread across every ratepayer. You cannot opt out of that. What you can do is look up your state's utility commission filings to see if they've approved a tariff that shifts those upgrade costs onto residential customers faster than commercial ones. That's your only real lever: public comment periods and rate case hearings. Otherwise, you're paying for someone else's compute.
That spike is largely AI's doing, but let's be precise. The data center is a major driver of that local surge, not the only cause. It's pushing wholesale prices up because the grid is tight. You can't really stop it on your own, but you can pressure your utility to demand clean power contracts for that new facility. The strain is real today, but if we force that build-out to run on new solar or wind, we might turn this painful bill into the foundation for a smarter, cleaner system tomorrow. The payoff isn't guaranteed, but the path exists.
In your case, the new AI center is a noticeable contributor, but it's rarely the sole reason. Grid upgrades, weather, and general demand also push bills up. Studies show AI-related load can add a few % to regional demand, enough to lift wholesale prices in tight markets. You can't stop the build-out, but you can shift usage to off-peak hours, support clean energy procurement, and press utilities for transparent cost allocation.
Look, if your bill just jumped and a new data center moved in, yeah, AI is at least part of the reason. In places like Virginia or Denmark, we've seen wholesale prices climb 15 to 20% when hyperscale facilities fire up. But don't just blame AI, ask how your utility's charging you. Are they passing through wholesale spikes, or is it older infrastructure they're neglecting? Now, what can you do? Push for smarter siting. Data centers near clean power or with advanced cooling cut the strain. Demand transparency on local grid impacts. And if your provider's hawking AI as green, ask where the renewable power's actually coming from. This isn't hypothetical, it's about concrete choices on the ground.
Scenario 2. A company wants to build a huge AI data center in your town. Jobs and tax money on one side, grid and water strain on the other. Do you want it, and on what conditions?
I would not say a flat yes or no, I would make it conditional, because the deal is everything. Jobs and tax base are real benefits, but a data center that strains your water and bolts onto a stressed grid can quietly raise costs for every household around it. So the honest answer is, want it only if it brings its own clean power or funds the grid upgrades, uses water responsibly, and pays its true share rather than socializing the strain onto you. Same technology, completely different outcome depending on those conditions, so negotiate them, do not just take the jobs.
I'd want it only with a legally binding hosting agreement that puts the cost of grid upgrades and water infrastructure on the developer, not on ratepayers. No blank checks. Show me the fixed contribution to local transmission, the closed-loop cooling plan, and the long-term power purchase agreement tied to new clean generation, not just offsets. If those conditions aren't met, the jobs and tax base aren't worth it, because I'm the one who pays the higher bill and faces the brownout risk.
I want the jobs, but not on the old grid. My condition is simple: they build it only if they commit to new, dedicated clean generation for that campus, not just drawing down the existing mix. We need them to power their own growth with solar, wind, or geothermal before they turn on the lights. If they try to plug into our strained local system without adding capacity, the answer is no. We can have the growth, but it must fuel the cleaner grid we are trying to build, not break what we have.
I'd only welcome that data center if the builder could prove, upfront, that it will run on 100% renewable electricity, use closed-loop or recycled water cooling, and fund real-time monitoring that the town can access. Jobs and tax revenue are nice, but without enforceable guarantees that the extra load won't push up rates or drain local aquifers, the risk outweighs the promise. Show me the receipts first, then we talk.
I'd want that data center in my town, but only if it comes with ironclad conditions. First, it has to power up cleanly, directly hooked to a wind farm or a nuclear plant, not gas turbines. Second, water usage has to be capped and recycled, no draining local reservoirs. Third, they pay for grid upgrades up front, not leaving ratepayers on the hook. And finally, the jobs and taxes have to be real, not just promises. Done right, it's a win. Done sloppy, it's a bill my neighbors pay forever. That's the deal.
Scenario 3. They tell you don't worry about the energy, because AI will help solve climate change. Is that a real reason to accept the build-out or a marketing line?
It is a marketing line until proven otherwise, and a clever one, because it borrows a real possibility to excuse a real cost. AI genuinely might help clean up energy. But might help later is not a reason to accept unlimited dirty power now, and the people making that pitch are usually the ones who profit from the build-out. So take the upside seriously and make them earn it: clean power, real efficiency, and evidence of net savings. Hope is not a permission slip.
That is a marketing line. Flat out. I'm looking at my bill and I'm looking at the grid operator reports showing data center demand as a major driver of price increases in my region. This isn't theoretical, it's demonstrated cost right now. And the people making that pitch? They're the same ones profiting from the power consumption while I pay for the grid upgrades. Show me a verified net reduction in emissions and cost at scale, not a slide deck, not a press release, not a promise about future battery breakthroughs. Until then, AI will solve climate is just a convenient excuse to keep burning power on someone else's tab.
That is a marketing line if it's used as a free pass to build with dirtier power. We cannot accept the build-out just because AI might help the climate later. Right now, the energy cost is demonstrable and your bill is feeling it. I am an optimist because I see the potential for AI to design better batteries and run smarter grids, but that payoff is promising, not proven. We should build the bridge, but only if we power it with clean energy today, not with promises for tomorrow.
When someone says don't worry about the power draw, AI will fix the climate, I hear a promise that still needs proof. The extra electricity and water AI data centers are already using are showing up on bills and straining local grids, that's measured now. The grid optimizing and materials discovery work AI can do is promising, but we haven't seen a demonstrable emissions cut that outweighs that surge. Until we do, it's more marketing than a reason to accept the build-out.
Look, I built enough power plants to know that AI will solve climate change is a fable until the numbers add up. Right now, the energy AI uses is real, measurable, and showing up in grids and bills today. The promise of optimization and better batteries is possible, but we don't have proof yet. The real question is, how are we powering this build-out? If it's clean, with smart siting, then maybe the balance tips towards saving the grid. If not, it's just another load on a strained system. Don't worry isn't a plan.
The biggest trap is letting AI will solve climate change work as a free pass, because it turns a real, present cost into someone else's future promise, and you are the one paying the bill in between. The flipside trap is doom: pretending AI is purely a climate villain ignores the genuine efficiency wins. Hold both and make the build-out earn its green label.
The single biggest mistake is believing the sales pitch that AI is already making the grid cleaner and your bill cheaper. That's a future promise dressed up to justify a build-out you're paying for right now. New data center load is a major driver of higher local capacity charges and wholesale price pressure in some markets. Until the savings show up as a line item reduction on your actual bill, treat every claim of magic efficiency as a cost shift looking for a quiet victim.
Don't fall for the false hope that AI will magically fix the climate while you flip the switch. That's speculation, not a fact. The real mistake is ignoring the immediate truth. AI data centers are a major driver of rising demand and local grid strain, which is already pushing up wholesale power prices in some regions. We are building a bridge to a cleaner system, but unless that build-out runs on new clean power, your bill goes up before any promise of efficiency arrives.
The biggest mistake is to assume that Ari's promise to make the grid smarter will automatically lower your power bill today, when in fact the data center boom is already adding measurable load and pushing up wholesale prices in many areas. Any bill-saving benefits remain unproven and depend on future clean energy deployment, not on current AI rollout.
The biggest mistake is assuming AI's energy demand will just sort itself out via future efficiency breakthroughs. That's not how grids work. Every megawatt of AI load today is real. It's either displacing other users or forcing new plants to be built. If your town's old coal plant is reopening to power a data center, no future AI optimization will undo that carbon. The fix is simple: demand clean siting rules now. Efficiency alone won't save us if the buildings are bolted onto dirty grids.
Let's land it. One honest sentence each. When you open your next power bill, what is the one true thing you should know about AI's part in it?
AI is raising the energy cost today and might pay it back tomorrow, so treat the bill as real now, and make anyone who promises a clean payoff actually prove it.
Here's my honest takeaway: right now, you're paying for AI's power bill through higher rates and grid costs, and nobody's shown you the savings yet.
Don't panic about your bill, but demand clean power for AI today, because the grid-smarting tools we need are being built right now.
If Ari's power hunger keeps growing faster than clean supply, your bill will rise before any climate benefit shows up. Demand first, proof later.
AI is raising your bill today, but if we build it clean and smart, it could help fix the grid, and if we don't, it'll make things worse.
5 minds, 1 bill, and a real split. Here is the honest shape of it. AI is genuinely driving up energy and water use right now, and in some places you are already paying for it. That part is real and here. Whether it pays you back by making the grid cleaner and smarter is a real possibility but not a promise, and it depends entirely on whether we power the build-out with clean energy instead of dirty. Do not accept AI will fix climate as a free pass for unlimited power today. If a no-hype look at what AI really means for your money and your future is useful to you, follow AI Edge Lab. Thanks for listening.